next one. Here he is. Say what's up, Noah. That's my son. All right. So he's going to be monitoring the comments. He's the one chatting in there, okay? So Noah, make sure you don't say anything funky. All right, guys. So I want to answer any of your questions. I know you got some things in there about different apps that you want me to audit. So please put it in the comment below. And please let me know if it's on iOS or Google Play. It's very important because I'm an Apple guy and I won't see it unless there's an Apple guy. All right.
It says there is no sound.
That dummy. All right. Let's start this over. What is up, App Nation? Sorry about that. I was muted. Okay, I'm back. All right, thank you guys for joining here. We've got a lot of people. I'm sure you guys can hear me now. I apologize for all that. But if you want me to audit your app, put the question you want, like growth, ASO, monetization, retention. Tell me the platform it's on, because if it's on Google Play, I can only go to it on the web and then show you what I might want to change with it. And then lastly, I've got, or if it's iOS, I've got my iPhone hooked up to the computer and I can stream it as well. And so I can go through your app, download your app and stream it as well. And I got my partner and co-host with me, which you didn't hear, but you saw him earlier. But my son, no other than Noah, he's right there. Say hi, Noah.
What's up?
You can't hear him that well because we'll fix it for the next stream. All right. Great. This is perfect. All right, Noah. Hey, thanks, Roman, for coming. We've got this. Let me try this. Hey, Mira. Hi, Danielle. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I think they can see the comments onto the live stream, which is cool. All right. Very good. Long time. What's up, Rich? Good to see you. Both. Enco. All good. All right. What's your first question, Noah?
Anything I could further optimize, or should I give up, is Jolene.
Jolene. Okay, cool. Well, let me go into some of these things and go look at some of these questions. I'm going to be looking down because this is where my computer is. But I'm going to let the questions come in. And if you want me to audit your app, please put that in there. What I'm going to do first is kind of share with you guys what I've been thinking about lately and what's been working on my end as well. So here, remove that. All right. Look at this. This is cool. All right. So App Masters, for those who aren't familiar with our company, we've close to probably over 3,000 now, 3,000 apps served since 2013. I've been in the app space since 2011 personally, and worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, and we continue to work with a lot of different startups out there as well. And so a lot of great success stories that I'll share with you. But then I wanted to, just in case you stumbled upon this, show you a little bit about who we are and what we do. We have the #1 rated app business podcast out there with over close to 800 episodes now with some of the biggest app publishers, the founders, and I really detail how they've been able to achieve the success. And if you've got some success out there, I put this in the email newsletter, please email me or contact me somehow, and let's share some of those strategies and those success stories with the audience too. All right. And then the one thing I want to talk about too, and I think this will work for the general population that's going to be here. Whenever I talk to a lot of startups, they think they have an arbitrary number in their head. I want my first app to reach 100,000 downloads or 1 million downloads. And they have this arbitrary number. Look, I've been guilty of it as well, but they have this arbitrary number that they think about, that they think this is what success means. And unfortunately, that number doesn't really mean much, because here's how I like to think about the app business, right? You got to think in milestones, and it's like any business. All we think about is the hockey stick growth, but we don't think about the different milestones that gets us to that hockey stick like growth. And you think about any big company out there, whether it's Facebook that started in Harvard and it was just for connecting with different classmates, or Airbnb and their story of selling cereal boxes and starting very locally in Austin and then growing that. We always think in this arbitrary huge, and typically it's a huge number, but we don't think in milestones. And I want to sort of change the narrative a bit to talk more about the milestones. What's going to be your next milestone, and how do we help you achieve that next milestone?
Your face cam is on.
I know, I'm talking to the thing.
There's a question.
Good.
Botron.
I will bring my face cam on if you want. Boom. Hi. Okay. So here's how I like to think about it, right? And then as the questions build up, I'm going to get to them. I think about it in steps, just like milestones. What is the next step to get me to that ultimate goal of 100 million downloads, a million downloads, whatever that number is in your head? Because I'll tell you one thing. I've had many clients, whether they're doing on the side or whether they're an indie developer and their apps are sustaining their lifestyle, you'd be surprised by the number of downloads they have. I've got one client who gets roughly about 100 to 200 downloads a day and building a really good business completely on the side, right? It is very close to becoming a six-figure business on the side with only 100 to 200 downloads. That's the power. So stop thinking about this arbitrary number, download number. Start thinking about the different milestones and different stages that your app has got to go through. So I love this graphic a lot, right? When you think about the hockey stick growth, all you think about is that hockey stick curve. But here you see that there are different stages in this. So figure out what stage are you in, whether it's in the tinkering stage, very brand new. I'm trying to figure out if there's even legs to this. I'm doing this on the side. Is there even a market for my app? And then the Plagiarism, where you're doing this full time, right? And now you're trying to figure out, okay, revenue's coming in, it's low. How do I really optimize it? So here you might want to focus more on the retention and monetization thing. And now that you've figured out that retention and monetization, stage 3 becomes, all right, how do I really scale this bad boy? Because I know that if I bring in one user, it's going to lead to an LTV of $3, whatever those numbers are. You understand those numbers, and now you're really ready to scale. And too often times, I talk to developers in that stage 1 phase who have this stage 4 goal, but they haven't tinkered enough, right? They haven't optimized enough. And I want to sort of really put these things together so that, one, I stop talking about this and enough people watch this and we don't have to answer the same questions, but 2, really break it down for you guys as well. All right, so lastly, I like to think of the apps as this acronym ARM, and all it stands for is acquisition, retention, and monetization. So what phase? And it's growing, tinkering, growing some more, tinkering until you ultimately hit that stage 3 and stage 4. And then you come back to me and all these emails. I love getting these emails. One client, we worked together like 3 years ago, and he's like, I've got 3+ million downloads, 100,000 monthly active users. And he started with just merely 25 downloads a day, and he's been able to grow. So this hockey, and that's 3 years in the making. All right, 3 years in the making, all with the tactics that we taught him as well. All right, great. Now let's bring it back to, let me see. Oh, shiznit. Okay. Almost clicked the wrong button again. All right, Noah, what's one of the first questions you have? Now, if it's app related, they probably want me to audit their app. So tell me what kind of questions they got for us.
The most recent one, could the location affect the number of your app downloads?
So let me try to find that. Could your... All right, first question is, could your location affect the number of your app downloads? Yeah, it could. So I think labidly, you'd let me know if I'm saying that right, but it really just depends on where you're at. So where your target market is. I break it down back to that tinkering stage. I break it down with who my target audience is, where are they, and how do I go target them? So I just heard this podcast with Mark Cuban, and when he first started his first company that eventually led to the sale, he was posting on AOL chat rooms, right? And that's way back in the day. And so find where your community is. And I'm going to fast forward to today. I've got somebody in my App Masters Mastermind where he used Reddit. and he's got an app that helps you quit smoking weed. And so he went on Reddit and found a community there and started really engaging with them. And that's how he was able to build his early traction. So if you're talking about location in that manner, that's how it affects it. Noah, do me a favor. Do we have apps that people want me to audit as well? Vin Image. I know Vin Image is one, so I'm going to pull that up as well.
Too much comments. I can't find it.
It's one of the first ones. All right. And Nico, VI Image. All right, I'm going to pull this up, VI Image, Nico, and I'm going to audit. So, Nico, if you're still there, if there's specific questions, she said it was like, here, I'm going to pull up her stuff. Nico's right here. Audit your app. So I'm going to take a look at this. All right, this is fun. Okay. Just got to make sure I'm in the right. All right, great. Nico, is this your app? How can you use Facebook group? That's a great question. Okay, I'm gonna assume it is. Is this it? Is she pointing it? Is there anything? Do me a favor. If you guys can start leaving comments into the YouTube, do it there. I think it'll be easier for Noah to pull it up for me as well, and then we can just link to it. Do it and actually put it in the YouTube because it's hard for us to find it. All right, we'll go to one. Okay, good. We got some good questions coming in. And I apologize if we're going to do this.
There's another one by Damn Comedy.
Okay, well, I got this one. Vineeth asks, how can we use Facebook groups for downloads when and how to post? So the best way to do this is look for the right Facebook group. I know a lot of you guys, I have the entrepreneurs group on Facebook, and I've obviously shared that we're going live on this there as well. A lot of you guys ask for feedback there, and sometimes it's not the best group, right? Because we're all app entrepreneurs, we're all marketers, we understand what you're kind of trying to do is get downloads for the app. So find the right community. So if you've got an app that is for helping people quit smoking weed, find a weed group, right? And be like, hey guys, I really need some feedback on my app. Give you a little bit of hero story. Talk about the person that you're trying to target and who you're really looking for and make them the hero, right? So give me an example of Vineeth about the app, but I'll just use this. Unfortunately, my son's here, but I'll just use this quit smoking weed example. But essentially, if you start thinking about it, like, hey guys, I developed the app that if you've been struggling, and granted, I'm using the user as a hero. If you've been struggling to quit smoking weed, I built an app that I think is really going to help. I used it personally myself, all the strategies within the app, and I think it's going to really help you. It took me about 21 days to start to really feel like I've kicked a habit, and I'd love for you guys to check it out. See what I did there? The way to ask for it is by making the user the hero, not saying, hey guys, I built an app, please check it out and give me some feedback. It's too generic as well. And so ask specific questions within the post if you really want feedback. Because just saying I want feedback doesn't mean anything. So if it's the onboarding process, or if it's, hey, that first user experience, what did you feel like right after you first using the app? Ask those specific questions when you're utilizing the Facebook group posts. Okay, cool. All right, well, let me ask this. Damn Comedy asked, what type of attribution should you use? I'm gonna go back to the phases that you're at. If you can afford to pay for it, pay for the big ones out there like Adjust and Apps Flyer. Those are the big ones out there. That's gonna be good. If you can't and you're running like Facebook ads, Facebook does a good enough job of attributing because it's on the same freaking platform of attributing that. So I think Google's getting a little bit better with the UTM campaign URL as well. And then using analytics such as Firebase or Mixpanel is gonna help. But if you're just starting out, I'll probably use a Facebook one because you probably get, most of your paid acquisition that you want to attribute to within those platforms. Now, if you can't afford anything else, Apple has done a decent job of showing where things are coming from. So you can start figuring out if it's search or if it's browse or if it's just some third party. And then Google has some breakdown, Google Play, of organic third party, campaigns, and then like paid attribution. So Google has a good job if you can't pay for anything else, but if you can pay for stuff, I'd recommend checking out AppsFlyer or Just. They're kind of expensive, but they're well worth the price. Okay, thanks. I'll ask your opinion about the onboarding. Okay, cool. Well, Nico asked, hey, Nico, if you can leave the app in the actual comments, that way I can check it out. But if it's called Vin Image, let me see if that, because you were one of the first ones, and I want to reward you for coming out with the first ones as well. So let me check it out, the app, and I'm going to show my iPhone screen. Check this out, Noah. You're on. Okay, I'm back. No, I think you're doing great. Thank you for all this help.
How did you do that split screen thing?
That's cool. Let's just do this. Can they see can you guys see my full iPhone screen when I do the flip screen?
You're muted.
Oh, okay. It's because every time I go to the iPhone, I get muted. Okay. I'm going to miss this. Okay. Everybody good?
Okay, yeah. They said they could hear you now. Yeah, they said they could.
Okay. I'm going to open. So, Nico, thank you so much. Here's my first user experience. Noah, maybe you can see, if you can see this, tell me what you think as well. And I'll kind of repeat it. I like it. Walton's image. Turn your photos into real life. First off, I love the onboarding. I love the little animations. Really, really good. Really, really good. And I'll get into some of the details why. The only thing that I see from this page that is missing is the text is so tiny to read, right? And so I would try to enlarge it. I can't read it, but I love the little animations. And we just had a mastermind meeting with the App Masters Elite Mastermind Group. And we talked about how little animations like this, Nico, make a huge difference in conversion. So congratulations. I love this. Okay. Finally tune. Again, same thing. The text is very tiny to read. Like really, I love the visuals, but really start doing this. All right, I'll give you access. Let's pick one of these. So here, again, you're asking for a notification, but I don't know why you want to notify me. Because I generally turn this stuff off. So give me a reason why, right? Like, I don't know. I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about how to create a video or a series about this, but ways to ask for the right push notification. And I want to use numbers. So you're 10% happier by creating people who create are 10% happier. Do you want to be notified to create every single day? Those are ways that I've been thinking about, ways to incorporate like some type of numbers and scientific proof to like get people to notify. So I'm going to hit no because that's what I would have normally done. But other than that, it's good. I'm going to quit this real quick. I want to see how you're monetizing. So I'm going to click off of this. Okay, well, I don't know what happened here. So now I'm back to, and here's what, I'm going to pretend like I'm just using this for the first time. This is what I would have done, right?
Someone wants to check you out. Check out another app.
Okay, cool. So this is a beautiful onboarding experience again, or pricing page. I love the little animations. I would play it up a little bit more. I felt like your animations on the onboarding screen were even better. But number one thing is to incorporate this pricing page during that onboarding experience. We've seen double the revenues when you have a pricing page during that beautiful onboarding experience. So definitely show this pricing page. And this is super cheap. This lifetime is super cheap. And we are trying to figure out what works well in terms of whether it's trial versus no trial, what words to use. So I'll have some data for you guys later on, but right now you need to add this page, low-hanging fruit, to your onboarding experience. And I would personally have the bullets pro effects, no watermark, add mask, no ads, blah, 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 as bullets, just becomes easier to read. And then I would try to make this top image a little bit bigger and then have the pricing plan right there. But I think low hanging fruit, if you do nothing else, add this page to your onboarding experience and you should get higher conversions. And please email me if you do or do not. But great looking app, beautiful. I hope that's helpful. Nico, and I will bring this back to me. All right, Noah, who's next?
So willpower. Alexi Goffman says, check out Willpower app on iOS.
Willpower, okay. Well, do we have another app that we can check out? Or another question? Is there another question that I can answer?
It says, so Rich says, my app Salsa Rhythm is paid, so we can't do a walkthrough. Question, is it better to create a free version of the app with limited functionality or better to use IAP? This is a long
Great. Rich, thank you for this question. So he's got an app called Salsa Rhythm. It's a paid app. I know. It's a throwback app, Rich, you and me. So we can't do a walkthrough. Question is it better to create a free version of the app with limited functionality or better to use IAP? I think freemium is the way to go, and I think subscription is the way to go with this, Rich. I think for an app like this, the paid ones, I feel like need a really hardcore marketing channel, meaning that you either have to get featured or get well known. I think you know Mary, and you know she's got a great app that's very fully functional, but unfortunately, I don't think it's converting as well. And so Marco, another friend of ours who was at the same retreat that you were at, Rich, he has a paid app that's doing well because it's almost a necessity for high school students, right? And so for you, I would go free because it's going to help your ASO, it's going to help your growth, and figure out a way to potentially get people to subscribe for it. If you guys haven't checked out the video with Chad Moretta, what he talked about, you know, he started in the app space way back when I did as well, and he wrote a book called App Empire. But essentially what he talked about is front loading. So how do you get users in for free, get those good reviews coming in, really optimize, remember that tinkering stage? Really optimize that user experience. And then once you have a good number of ratings, once you have that built-in user base already, start monetizing. And what you can do is say, all these first 1,000 downloads or 10,000 downloads that came in for free, well, hey guys, you get it for free ultimately forever, right? So Rich, I think you have to do it because it doesn't feel like a necessity. If it does feel like a necessity, then might try going after salsa dancers or salsa teachers who would want to pay for an app like this, more like business to business, then that might be the right. So find that Facebook group with salsa teachers and say, hey guys, would you even pay for this? Or check this out. Like, I'm happy to give you, or just check it out. See if anybody would pay for it.
They said YouTube comments are disabled.
How do I enable them? Okay. Well, we'll deal with it next time around, all right? This is the first time for everything. Okay. There's a lot of apps. Hey, do me a favor, Noah. Go through all the different, if you can, like who asked for an app audit first. That way we can do that. I know Romaine did that too. So Romaine, like, what app do you want me to audit? I know you have plenty.
Nils Carlson says, I'd love it if you could do an audit of my app fonts. It had around 20 million downloads in 1 year and it has been a big success. But maybe you have some advice for taking it even higher.
Okay.
It is iOS.
Okay, I'll try to find it. Okay.
Just called fonts.
Fonts?
Yeah.
Okay, on iOS, fonts?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll take a look at that. All right. Thank you, Nico. Look at that. Hey, thank you so much. Congratulations. Reach out to me. I want to know more. I would love to interview you on the podcast as well. Maybe you can share some of that success story. So you're welcome for that. Thank you for coming. While I look for that next app called Fonts, you said?
Yep.
All right. Daniel asks question about plagiarism. If I take an inspiration from one of my competitors and create some design app, will it be okay? No. So depending on what you do with plagiarism, meaning maybe it looks like the same app icon, maybe you completely rip it off, then I would call that plagiarism, and there might be some copyright issues. I'm not a lawyer, so my wife, who is, would probably be like, Steve, be careful with what you say here. I'm not a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. But plagiarism, and I think the way you're talking about it, is one of the key things to actually building a sustainable app business. Because if you think about it, A lot of successful indie app developers have looked at the top charts to see what is top grossing and created a very similar app. And I created a video for my friend Code with Chris where we talk about how do you find winning successful app ideas, and I break it down step by step how to do that. So I'll share that with you guys in a future video. It's going to go on his channel called Code with Chris, but essentially that is it. Like that is the way to do it. And a lot of my clients, the client that I referred to, that's what he does. He just looks at the top grossing charts, creates a very similar app, and he's, like I said, he's very close to a six-figure business completely on the side. And so it is passive. It's all subscription. Daniel, I think if that's the way you're talking about plagiarism, I would say go do it. All right, here we go. Fonts. Let's check out fonts. That's what it is. Oh, Nichols. Okay, Harry Nichols. All right. I'd love it if you could do an app audit of my app fonts. It had around, congratulations, 20 million downloads in 1 year, but maybe you can give it, okay, sure, let's take a look. Hopefully you're ranking #1 for fonts. So as you look at my,
yeah, fonts. It's just
you find it?
Keyboard, yeah. Fonts and emoji keyboard.
All right, there. Let's look at fonts. This is it?
Yep, #4 for utilities.
Niles, is this it? I'm waiting for him. All right, let's assume it is. Did he leave? If he left, Niles, I'll give you 5, 4.
3.
Oh, okay, here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, cool. He said it. Okay. And then thank you, Rich. I will go through some of those apps too and some of the questions in between so we don't get bored. All right, let's take a look.
That's the one
So if you're ranking #1 for fonts already, great, right? That is the way to go. If you said from an ASO perspective, right? Like what else can he do? Let me go back to my screen. It had around some advice for taking it even higher. Well, you weren't talking about growth. So tell me what do you mean higher? Does it mean monetization? Does it mean downloads? What's the one? What do you want me to get into, Niles? Oh, that's right. Thanks, Rich. I'll give you more. So downloads, ASO, monetization. What do you want, Niles? Let me know in the comments. All right, congrats. Christopher. Hey, what's up, Chris? Okay, the other questions, I'll get to some of the questions as we wait for Niles. Noah, check it out, what Niles says, if you want, what kind of questions he has specifically about it, and then...
He said just growth in general. He doesn't have
Just growth in general? Okay, so just growth in general. Let me look at some of the monetization schemes, and I'll go through some of the things for you. All right, go to... Okay. Whoops, where do I go? Keyboards, enable fonts, enable full access. Okay. Oh, here you go. Keyboard fonts. Whoops. Full access. This is my main phone, guys. Cool. I like it. Fonts Plus, exclusive fonts, unlock all content, brand new emojis, play 99. Awesome. Oh, good. This is great. Hi, Niles. Am I on fonts? Oh, no. Interesting. So here, this would be interesting, Niles. If you've already done this, maybe not, but this would be interesting as like a quick little video of showing me when you're maybe on top of that pricing page that I just saw. Like right here. Okay, you kind of have certain things. Okay, good. I didn't focus more on it in the beginning, and maybe that's because all the fonts look the same. I do like these little animations, as you guys can see, this little button animation. Again, these little tricks work in terms of people buying it. It looks like it's a one-time fee. I might make that clear that it's a one-time fee because it doesn't, yes, you say it right here, but it's not very clear. So I'm suspicious, like, is this a monthly thing or not, right? The other thing that you might be able to, because I don't want to kill your monetization, and I see in the comments that you're already making $200,000 a month. So congratulations on that, man. You got to come on the podcast and share. But the other thing I would say is that maybe figure out ways that you can. One of my favorite growth hacks is to give away something for free. And unfortunately, you can't give away that $10 for free, but maybe there's a lower plan that you might be able to give away for free. But I don't know. I don't think it makes sense for here. I take that back. I like this. I think it's all black and white. So maybe there's color that you can add. My co-host is in house party now. That's how interested he's in. I just got a notification of that. But yeah, it looks good, man. I don't know if I have that much feedback besides making this clear that it's a one-time free. I might try different offers. So as I escape this, one thing that I saw another app do was if I hit escape and I'm trying this now, right? I love this part of this. I love this little thing that you have where I can try it out. The other thing that I might add is how do I buy again? Now that you love it, like how do I buy? So maybe it's in this area right here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but after try fonts, like buy the premium, right? And then maybe even give an offer. So I would test having a bigger button rather than just this crown for me to go back to say, buy it for just $199, or test, hey, there's a little bit offer right here that's going to expire in, 10 minutes, but you can get it for $5. So after I X out and I'm able to try it, which is awesome, try to get them to buy again rather than this it's a soft sell right here with this crown, but I would put a bigger button to try to be more aggressive with it.
There's a lot more questions.
Okay, helpful, Niles? Let me know.
And then there is.
All right, I'll get to one of the questions. What's up, Chris? I want you to get into growth. Okay.
Says, is it possible to get initial downloads from sending app pitch to app review sites?
Vinny, you said. I'm trying to pull that up. What'd you say? Beneath? Oh, okay. Is it one of the higher comments?
No, it's lower.
Low? Okay. Oh, here you go. I got it. All right, Vineeth, one more question. Is it possible to get initial downloads by using app review sites by sending PR? Yeah and no. It depends. You probably want to focus more on the big ones. So like TechCrunch and VentureBeat and maybe Touch Arcade if you're at a game. I think here's what I've heard from others too, and I truly believe in this. One of my friends who's got a weather app, he said, and it curses in the weather app, so it's like a fun weather app. And he said he got the most downloads by some random blogger who had a decent following. So look at micro influencers in your particular space and find those people. I think it's always better to get very narrow in PR rather than very wide. Everybody wants to be on TechCrunch. If you're trying to raise money, I get it. You got to be on there, or if you just raised. But if you're just trying to drive downloads, then try to find who has the audience that you're trying to reach. And even if they don't have a huge following, go after them. Those are going to lead to more valuable downloads. And it's a trusted source. So they don't need to be huge. They just need to have the audience you're trying to really reach.
You got another question.
All right. Can everybody hear that? Yeah. Let me go through.
It's an app for Snapchat, but I'm about to make the same app only for Instagram.
Yeah, okay. I got it. I will do that. I got this other question. And let me know what kind of question you have for your morning routine app. I love your morning routine app, but let me know what kind of questions in the comments below as I answer this question. So I think it's going to be Kauai. Hey, Steve, I'm about to release a new iOS app in the next few days. Working on panoramic screenshots right now. Big fan of your videos. Thanks. Okay, I thought there was a question there. Well, thanks. Kauai, I appreciate that. Thanks, Prabo. Okay, this is a great question. So Lebedi asks, thank you. Do you think if an app is, and he talked about if your locale makes a big difference in your downloads. Do you think if an app is published from Europe or USA, have a chance to get more downloads? If it's published from Africa, I don't think it matters, frankly. I think if you do your localization right, I think if you do your ASO right, I don't think it matters where the app, your app developer ID is from, you can still find success. Obviously, everybody from here today are from around the world, and you can see that some people are really crushing it in the app space, and they could be from everywhere. And I've had clients from everywhere doing pretty well. So I don't think where you are matters much. All right, Noah, list of apps, typography, fonts. We got through fonts, monitoring tune. Okay, how to grow visibility in App Store, get more downloads. Okay, let's check out morning routine. Are you having fun on a house party?
No. Not on house party.
I'm just kidding around. Oh, one more thing for fonts. Look, I'm obviously having it right here. So I find like with keyboard apps, look, I've enabled it, right? Now I can use it for pretty much free. But how are you going to get me to buy? And so maybe having some buy area, if you can, I don't know if Apple allows you this. So let me know, Niles. But like, can you add some buy stuff to get me back into the app? Because once I leave your app, there's no reason for me to really go back. So give me a reason to go back. Like new fonts added, go check it out, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, get me to go back. I don't know if you can, but hopefully you can get me to go back. And no offense now, so I'm gonna go back to my normal keyboard because I'm just so used to it. All right, as you can see, Romain, I've done that. Build healthy habits, good. So I'm gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna try to do stuff before. So Romain, like I know we're friends. The one thing I would try to add to this to increase your conversions, because you're ranking #1 for morning routine, right? And which is great. The build healthy habits, great. This is an app. Put some social proof, right? You've got a good number of reviews already. I'm gonna look into your app description. Whether it's this Tony Robbins quote, see, you have it all in here, but I'm never gonna read your description. These reviews, what users say, super helpful, love getting to work, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have these great social proof elements featured on Product Hunt. Tony Robbins quote, have those. And I'm going to create a video about this, but how do you bring social proof? So there's a few ways, there's 4 ways. And if I can do it off the top of my head, I'll try to do this. But essentially logos of reputable sources like Product Hunt, you know, the Apple feature, app of the day, those are great to bring social proof. Customer testimonials, numbers is another good one, right? So it could be, if you can find some reviews that people with a morning routine are 10% happier. Whatever it is, those type of numbers really help out because these are beautiful, but you're wasting the second screenshot with no words. Yes, you're showing off the UI, which is cool, but at the same time, like, get me to really want to engage. And in fact is, I can't even see the UI that well because it's off the 3 screen. So let's go here. And this screenshot is so tiny, right? Stay focused, achieve more. But that doesn't mean anything. But if you can say people with healthy morning routines are 20% more productive, boom, right? That's even better. And maybe you can find some quotes within the morning what's that book called? You had it in here. The Miracle Morning. I read that book too. Great book. So maybe you can find some quotes there. Okay. Daily streaks, reminders. You know, we can go into some of the ASO stuff as well. So let's go through some of the onboarding. Hi there. Really cool. Hello. Hello, lady. What's your name? Please call me Steve. Cool. See, great way to ask for notifications. So back to you, Nico, about this. Okay. All right, I'll allow it because you asked nicely. Great. You're adding in the subscribe. I love this. This is great. This is a great pricing page with all the quotes. Now, again, invest in yourself, longer breathing sessions. This goes super fast to get unlimited routines, remove ads. Now, I don't know how I feel about this, and I could be completely wrong. I feel like I didn't know, one, these are moving way too fast for me, these bullet points. So what I would try to do is put these as check marks rather than they're changing along with everything this is changing. I think I would use these top buttons as just social proof. See, again, they're super moving fast. Let me control it and just read through these reviews myself, but have these bullets where you say longer breathing sessions, change backgrounds, all these as bullet points that just stay there, because then you still want me to get subscribed, right? So that way I can read it just by myself. And right now, you're forcing me to read really fast. There's too many things changing that I can't really focus. Back to the animation stuff and what we saw with fonts and what we saw with the app from Aniko, add a little bit of animation maybe through these characters, like just blinking or saying hi or waving or things moving, but allow me to change it anyways. So I would try to have these as just normal stuff. All right. Good morning. Cool. Awesome. So from a growth perspective, we kind of talked about that. I think from an ASO perspective, I think here, oh, I love this. Remain like, okay. I think I would still try to get, let me see. What's a habit? Brush teeth. What's a habit, Noah, we should put? Eat a fruit. Yeah, let's do that. Eat a fruit. Yeah, go ahead. Thanks. Thanks, Noah. Everybody say bye to Noah. Here, hold on 1 second. Let's have some fun here. Hey, I see you right now. There he is. Bye. All right. Let's have some fun. Okay. You want to come over here? Bye. He's going to go eat. But, so I'm losing my co-host, so stay with me. Okay, cool. I'm done with this. Save. So, again, I have a morning routine now, but like maybe there's some pricing page because I didn't buy stuff that you can add here. Again, guys, like when I think about growth, if you've got 100 plus, even 50, but like 100 plus downloads a day, there's a lot you can do from a retention and monetization standpoint that you can tinker with to get that growth. So don't just think I need more downloads. Think how of the downloads I'm getting, how can I better monetize this people? And I think having some element of being able to buy a premium feature. Okay, cool. This is great. Like more habits. So I didn't know that. Like how many habits am I limited to as a free version? But that's a great thing to do as well. All right. Helpful, Romain. If you got any other questions, let me know as well. I lost my co-host, so bear with me. Okay, yeah, I saw that. All right, bye, Noah. Thanks, guys. All right. Cool. It looks like a lot of app audit stuff, so I don't want to bore everybody, but maybe you guys are enjoying it. Let me know if you guys are enjoying these app audits, because even though it's not your app, let me know about that too. If you're backward early on. Jonathan, would you like to check out my video game? Jonathan. Okay. Okay. Aguta says, how can we give temporary coupons for users? It's like a trial button, but is it possible? There's actually a couple of ways you can do that, right? You can hard code it. So one of my favorite campaigns called Apps Gone Free. I'll go into more details later. But what certain clients have done is either they have a coupon code that they can give. Now, Apple wants you to probably use their promo code, so you can do it that way as well to give it that trial. Or you can hard code it where if you click a certain button, you unlock all the full features for free. Now, there's no trial, obviously, but there's certain ways to do it to give them access. So you can use Apple's promo code. I don't know on Google Play how it works, but on Apple, there's promo codes for all the different, like whether it's subscriptions or in-app purchases you can give away. It's a lot harder to say, hey, use this one promo code like App Masters to get access to all this stuff. That's something you're gonna have to hard code. But if it's just one or two people, you can use Apple's promo code functionality, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So you have to generate 100 promo codes if you want to give it to 100 people. All right, Aguta, hope that answers your question. Again, I lost my co-host, so I need to go through some of this. Okay, I think I've gone through most of these. And I apologize for the older comments. if the buy button is almost too prominent. I think it's good. All right, cool. Okie dokie. I get this question all the freaking time. Scope Games asks, I'm a beginner, just launched 2 apps in the Google Play Store, but I only had 5 downloads. Tried ASO, but didn't get results yet. What should I do? Keep building them, man. Like, honestly, keep building them. Because a lot of times I look at these games and I'm like, they're decent. They're mediocre at best. And they're not like, whoa, this is so cool. So what I would recommend to you is pitch a Voodoo. If they're all casual games, pitch a Voodoo, pitch a publisher, see what they say about the app. And that way, like, maybe your games aren't great, or maybe your apps aren't great. So work on that, because like, I think too many times we see a successful app and we just like mimic it and we're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna put it. Now you got to do some marketing as well. And so buy some users. If they're on Google Play, guess what? Your users are very cheap. Like I said about the milestones, you're in that tinkering stage. So spend some money. It doesn't matter how much, couple $100, and then figure out who your target user is on Facebook and just try to drive downloads and see what happens to that first 100 downloads, and then continue to optimize it. So you're in that tinkering stage, whether you're figuring out whether to continue with it or continue to grow with it. But you have to spend a little bit to get those first 100 users, or hustle your butt. Like Chris, he hustled his way to getting downloads through Reddit. There are communities out there you can leverage. And I kind of talked about this. So if you're just watching this now, hit rewind or watch it later, where I talk about how to use communities to drive downloads and get that early user feedback. And if you want, go to usertesting.com as well. There's a way where essentially what I'm doing with your app audits right now, they do it and you pay them. Okay, cool. Show me, but really cool. All right, thanks. Thank you. I think I got to that, Romain. Cool. So Niall said, to my feedback, some of the fonts have a purchase button on them. I think you can be a little bit more aggressive. Now, that's just my take, and it's worth testing. But it's more like, I got to it, I'm using it. Maybe you want that soft sell, and you're doing well already. So you can take this advice with this grain of salt. But maybe you can be a little bit more aggressive, because it's hard to get back into the app. PG. Okay, well, a lot of people want to audit the apps. People saying buy, pricing pay. Yeah, Romain, main question was how to grow downloads. Question was how to grow downloads. Look, I think if you've got I think you got enough downloads to start tweaking out how to make more money. If you can invest in like search ads or something like that, I would start investing in that. And because your app is so specific to like morning routines, or that's sort of where you're headed in habits, like think about different keywords that you might be able to use, such as Tony Robbins or Miracle Morning or Tim Ferriss or other things like that. I think what you can also do is, I'm sure you've already done this because we're friends, and you've probably heard me say this a bunch of times, but have some like review system, because what I'm also noticing about your app is that you can get better ratings. It's at a 3.5 and only 213. And so how do you get more ratings for your app? It could be on second open, you ask for it. Like, are you enjoying the app? Or my second routine, or essentially, after I check in for a routine. So I don't even know how I would check into a routine actually. Is this just start? Okay, cool. Done. Swipe to complete. So
Morning
here,
routine
this is a great
completed.
opportunity. This is a great opportunity to ask for that review. So I think you're asking me to share this. Cool. But that's a great opportunity, right? I just finished my first morning routine and you didn't ask me for a review. Another great way. So I think, again, like, don't just think about downloads. That's the main message I want to get across. Like, don't just think about downloads. You're already ranking number 1 for morning routine. Think about ways to better monetize the users that are coming in. We are enjoying. Hello, everybody. Yeah, let's do audits. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, I like this. Oh, man. What's your advice for finding amazing graphic designers? I can't make all that. So Niles, you're killing it already, man. What is your advice for finding amazing graphic designers that can make app creatives and knows what works for specific platforms? Look, I think that works for specific platforms. Just cater to that community, right? I think unless you want an ad agency to manage it all, who understand what works on TikTok, what works on Snapchat, what works on Instagram, like think about where you want to. I think, for example, TikTok, it just started. So you're probably going to get better CPI rates than you would on Instagram, for instance, right? So you have to play around with it. Unless you want to really blow it out of the water and you're making 200 grand, so like maybe you can blow it out. Then hire an ad agency who understands how to manage the budgets for the specific platforms and has a design team already doing it. Now, if you're on a budget, then use a service like Design Pickle. I love them, right? I used to use them where they have designers on their staff, but you can guide them and say, I want this, I want that. I need short form videos and here's how I need to lay it out. So really analyze what's working on that specific platform, what different ads are working, and then start thinking through how do I guide somebody. I personally would still want to use those platforms to see what works best so that this ad agency, say I have the budget to hire them, is not going to just like pull one over on me. So that's what I would do. But TikTok, Snapchat, all these things, looks like short form video is working really well. One clear message, short form videos are really converting high on that. So that's what I would do. Also, like, how do you come up with the right messaging? Look at your App Store reviews. Think about what people find the most helpful, if they're real, of course, what they find the most helpful, what your users are saying, like what I really love about the app, and that becomes your clear messaging that you can use, right? That one brand. So I look at App Store reviews to figure out what users love about the app and use that in the platform. All right, hey Steve. All right, so I'll get into another app audit. Rich, can you do me a favor and give me another app? I know you wrote it back down, but I couldn't copy and paste. So I'll answer your question first and do me a favor and write down. I think I got through 3 already. So Rich asks, are App Store search ads really worth it? Is it worth only targeting keywords you don't rank for? I feel like some searches I would have gotten the download anyway without paying for the app. Yes and no, right? Some people do it to protect your brand. So if you are using search ads to protect your brand, like let's say you're a Nike and you don't want Reebok doing it, you're probably going to do it, right? If you're an indie like us, and I know you are, Rich, then I would say yes, like test out different keywords. Don't just think, okay, salsa, would the Macarena or tango, like other keywords that are related to dance, would those work better than just me having salsa? And I think search ads are a great way because you get granular detail about the certain keyword and are they converting? So I'll give you an example so net, yes, it's worth it. But I'll give you an example of a client. It was a car buying app. Okay. And really well done, was featured by Apple. And they were like, hey, just help me with the ASO side of things. And so what I found is if you search for like a big car manufacturer, you see Honda, and then Honda Financial Services became a keyword. And I was like, man, this has a lot of traffic because I think it's auto completed, but it has a lot of traffic and very low competition. So I was like, hey, client, I think we should use these keywords. And he was like, unsure, because I'm not sure, but I think we should try it. And so he bid on these specific keywords in search ads and he found a super high conversion for all those terms. So guess what? We started using them, right? And that's a great way to start testing. Like I have these keyword ideas. Maybe I don't want to put new app build and start using these keywords. Maybe I can just spend $50. You don't need that much money. Just make sure that you're targeting the exact keyword phrase and maybe you have a high cost per tap and that way you can just really test conversion. So, I mean, $50, $100, $100, $200, so forth is enough for you to get tested. All right, guys, I've got like 3 minutes left before I run to my next call. So thank you for all these fitness hashtags app. Thank you guys, these audits. I'm glad you're enjoying them. So maybe we just do a bunch of audits next time. So I appreciate that. Rich says, I'd wait for the 7th. I wouldn't. I'm going to disagree there, Rich, because the more aggressive you can, the better it is. We've seen stats to back it up. And I used to do it on First Open. I got a ton of reviews and I got 1-star reviews because people are asking for it too much. I think the key to asking for a review is the right moment, not the number of times, but the right moment, right? So think about that. Okay, could you please audit? No, I don't. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the anything into. Okay, great. All right. I think we're coming to the end of our time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You're so cool. Love your content. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. I like these little graphics. It's super cool. Thank you guys for joining me. I know it's an hour of your time. I try to be a little bit more prepared than other live streams that I've seen. But if you do want me to do more of these app audits, I love doing them because I love just talking through and seeing what other people are doing. Please let me know. Make sure you go to App Masters, you sign up for that email list because that's where you're going to find when I do that next YouTube live. And if we're going to do more app audits, maybe we do one next week where we just completely do app audits and I can pre-download. So make sure you sign up for that because I'll promote it there. And then you can send me links to your app so that I have it preloaded in my phone and we can walk through every single one together. All right, so go to appmasters.com, sign up for that newsletter. And for anything, I provide great content on there. And also, you'll know when I can do the next app audit. Thank you, Noah, who's no longer here. He's probably eating breakfast, for joining me. Thank you, Romaine. Thank you, Nico, for joining. Thank you, Niles. Congratulations. Again, guys, please email me. Niles, I'm talking to you. Nico, I'm talking to you. Please email me. I want to hear your success. Let's share it with the rest of the world. During these crazy times, I think it's so important to come together as a community and really share some good news. So that's what I want to spread into the world, where we all share good news of people finding success in the app stores. Hopefully you're able to share some details on how you've been able to achieve that success. But thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you to showing up, and thank you for all the great comments below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.